Have you ever felt like you're pushing and pushing, but your manifestations just aren't coming? Are you finding yourself obsessed over the outcome only to feel frustrated when things don't move as quickly as you'd like? What if I told you that letting go could be the key to unlocking your deepest desires? Stay tuned, because today we're diving deep into the art of detachment and how crucial it is for manifesting the life you want. Welcome back to Ask Cindy. I'm so glad you're here, especially if you've been feeling stuck in your manifestation journey. Today's episode is all about detachment, the secret ingredient that many people miss when trying to manifest their dreams. It might sound counterintuitive, but detaching from the outcome is exactly what will allow it to flow to you effortlessly. So let's break it down and understand why detachment is actually the ultimate tool for manifesting. Power of detachment in manifestation is not about giving up on your dreams or stopping the process of manifestation. It's about releasing the need for control and trusting the universe or whatever higher power you believe in will bring you what's best for you. When you're attached, we're holding on too tightly, and that energy can create resistance. Think about it like this. If you were holding a rope and you were pulling it, the rope pulls back. But when you release it, the rope goes straight. In manifestation, detachment works the same way. When you're attached to how and when things should happen, you're creating resistance, making it harder for your desire to come to you. But when you let go, you allow space for the universe to surprise you with something even better than what you had imagined. So, why does attachment feel so hard? Here's the thing. Detachment isn't easy. Our human nature wants to control, to hold on, to make it happen. We want our desires so badly that we often slip into scarcity and fear. But remember, detachment is actually a sign of trust. When you trust the universe has your back, you're free to receive what's meant for you without the stress and the pressure. I was listening to Myron Golden, and he made a really good point, and I realized that a lot of my faith comes from this. He says that he has an absolute trust in the laws and the way that he's applied them and the way that they've worked for him, that is what gives him this unshakable confidence and faith. And I completely agree with what he's saying because that's exactly what happens. There is no backtracking, there is no listening to what if it doesn't happen when you've actually applied these rules and you've seen it work in action. Your faith is built upon a really strong foundation of having applied the laws and understanding them to this degree. And when I say understanding them, I don't just mean reading the books. You can read all the books you want, but if you're not applying the knowledge, if you're not applying and making it practical for you, then it's not your wisdom, it's hearsay, which then makes room for mistrust, for the inability to feel comfortable with the fact that there's this force that appears to be outside of you that is going to bring you what you want. You know, another thing that makes it hard to trust is if you are wishy-washy with yourself and others. If you don't keep your word to yourself, then it's going to be very unlikely that you're going to trust in others. And so no matter what it is, as long as you make it a habit, and you keep your word, then you're good. My ex, in fact, he was one that he was slow to commit to something because once he said that he would be there come hell or high water. He kept his word. So if he didn't really want to go, he would kind of be like, I'll see, you know, because he was going to keep his word if he decided to show. And so this is the type of thing that I'm talking about. When you build this type of confidence in these actions and you are this way with yourself, it is easier for you to trust the universe. All right. So can you feel the difference between trying to force something to happen and allowing it to flow naturally? Let's take a moment to pause and ask, have you ever tried to force something into your life and ended up feeling more frustrated and disappointed when it didn't work out? What was the outcome when you finally let go? Feel free to share the thoughts in the comments because I really love hearing your experiences. It really helps me to come up with these episodes if you tell me what it is that you're struggling with or what you've learned from it. You can always inspire others as well. All right, tips and tricks for practicing detachment. Focus on the feeling, not the outcome. One of the best ways to practice detachment is by focusing on the feeling of your desire rather than the specific details of how it will unfold. Instead of obsessing over how, let yourself bask in the feeling of already having it. For example, if you're manifesting a new job, focus on the feelings of freedom, satisfaction, and the joy you'd experience in that role. Latch to those positive emotions, and the job will come naturally. My friend Jenny, she likes to say that emotions are the fuel that gets you from point A to point B. And it's very true. Feeling is the secret, as Neville Goddard says. So if you focus on the feelings rather than these potential outcomes, you will more than likely get to where you're going because you're using the correct fuel. All right. Question 2. What's the feeling you want to experience with your manifestation? That's what you need to ask yourself every single time you're trying to manifest something. Can you shift your focus away from the outcome and instead focus on the feeling right now, whatever that feeling is? See? Next, practice gratitude before it arrives. Be thankful. Gratitude is a powerful tool for detachment. When you express gratitude for something before it's physically manifested, you're signaling to the universe that you trust that it's already on its way. And this removes any anxiety or fear and opens up the space for your desires to materialize. I'll give you a tip. Every day, write down 3 things that you're grateful for that relate to your manifestation. For example, I'm grateful for the freedom my new job will bring, or I'm grateful for the love and connection I'm already attracting. You know, whatever your situation is, focus on that gratitude. All right. Third step, release the need for it. I can't stress that enough. Release the need for it. I know, this is the toughest part, but it's key. Okay? It is key. Whereas if you're attached to the need for something to happen, you're essentially saying, I don't have it yet. If that makes sense, you know. And so instead, detach by affirming that you are whole and complete as you are. Your manifestation is simply a bonus to your already abundant life. Okay. Practice saying that. In fact, that's another tip. I am already whole and complete and welcome whatever is meant for me in divine timing. That is a great one. Right. Next, trust in divine timing. Detachment also means trusting that everything happens at the right time. The universe works in its own timeline, and sometimes things need to fall into place before your manifestations can show up. Trust that if something hasn't arrived yet, it's because it's not the right moment, and that's okay. What would it feel like if you let go of the urgency of your desires? How can you start practicing patience and trust that the universe knows when to bring something to you? And there's a high level of trust when it comes to manifestation that we have to rely on. And a lot of times our ego likes to go into the what if everything goes wrong scenarios, and it could just as easily go right. And we can't dwell too much on what if something goes wrong. So we've got to let go of these fears, and it's a huge barrier, in fact. So letting go of this urgency and deciding to start practicing patience and trust will help you a great deal. All right, step 5, letting go of fear. Fear is a huge barrier to detachment. Fear of not having enough, fear of being rejected, fear of failure. These are all forms of resistance. Start by identifying the fears that are holding you back and replace them with affirmations of abundance, success, and faith. Like every time a fear comes up, counteract it with, I trust that everything's working out for me. Doesn't have to be some huge statement, but something like that is good because it's actually true. And so the more you align with the energy that's already happening and occurring, the easier it is to overcome resistance. Now that you've heard these tips, I want to know which one resonates with you the most. Are you ready to practice detachment, or are there still some fears holding you back? If you have no fear and truly trust the universe, how would your life look like right now? Take a moment to reflect and share your thoughts in the comments. I'd really appreciate knowing. All right. Remember, detachment is not about giving up, it's about releasing control, trusting the process, and making space for the universe to deliver your desires in the best way possible. So take a deep breath, let go of the pressure, and trust that what is meant for you is already on its way. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more manifestation tips and or spiritual insights. And as always, if you feel stuck or need more personalized guidance on your journey, check out my coaching services at bridgetoselfmastery.com. Until next time, stay detached and please, by all means, keep manifesting your dreams. Thanks for listening.